gentlemen, welcome to episode 19 of chucklesluts, the #1 place on the internet where you can come for the sluts and stay for the chuckles. My name is
Yeah.
I'm Shannon Brunetti.
I am Zach Clapperidge.
And like almost every episode in the history of ever in chucklesluts, we're going to start off with THWDO. Who wants to start us off in this one today?
I can go.
I mean...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't say. Please go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just...
Okay, you're all holding the door open for each other.
I shall go now!
Okay!
All right, so this is just kind of funny. I recently found out about this. I don't really know how new this is because I don't play Pokemon that much anymore, but this is a Pokemon story. So this is just a fun, subtle little things, little joy in the world. Recently, in, I guess, the newest iteration in Sword and Shield, they introduced a bunch of these like ancient, like fossilized Pokemon. Like one of those like Arctozolts and a few others, which basically they were like two Pokemon that were sort of put together and evolutionary. They turned into like one, and they all look super fucking ridiculous. And there's like 5 or 6 of them or whatnot. Now, what's funny about this is what I found out. I read this whole story about how the creators of Pokemon created these Pokemon kind of just trolling British archaeologists. And I was like, what? That sounds fucking silly. And because it turns out there was a lot of controversy a while back because a bunch of British archaeologists became kind of notorious for they would go and when they would find dinosaur bones and they didn't really know what they were doing with them, they would just sort of mishmash anything they wanted together and be like, I call this the Megasaurus monster person. And maybe that's how we got, remember what your dinosaur names? The Littlefoot Spicy Brain.
Spicy Brain.
So when they made Littlefoot Spicy Brain, these archaeologists, like they didn't know what they were doing. They would just put anything they wanted together and call it a dinosaur. So Pokemon, they intentionally made ridiculous looking Pokemon that look like two different things just sort of jammed together. And Sword and Shield is set in a British location, like the sort of the what it looks like anyway is sort of a European style thing. So they made this legitimately only to troll those old British archaeologists who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Because in this, and there's like a joke written in it to where when it describes the Pokemon in your little Pokédex, it makes like a mention of like, these were some people like believed that the bones were just found and like became something new because of like human interaction or whatnot. And I find that so charming and so lovely that there's the tiniest little nerdy flex. Like some dude like making up Pokemon is just flexing on the British. And that brings me so much joy.
I imagine like a British dude, like after he's brushed out the bones, he just looks at them and he's like, yep, that looks legit.
If it fits, I'm in.
I still can't get over the Pokemon Sword and Shield characters Swordbird and Shieldbird and Swordward. Like, those are two legit characters' names, Shieldbird and Swordward. Like,
that's so funny.
I feel like that should just be like its own like spin-off, and it's just them talking shit about each other all day.
Yeah,
it's like two Pokemon roommates are just like, fuck you.
That would be, oh my god, that's a fun if I made. What if we made like more of a, just like a college humor, like Pokemon going to like Pokemon college, just kicking it. There's like Charmanders just chugging beers.
Dude,
stuff.
Please
like,
don't give me ideas. I'm so down for this.
Smoking mad weed.
Like,
yeah, Bulbasaur would definitely be a dealer.
And here's the kicker. It's literally just humans in like little Pokemon hats that just like vaguely represent this person.
That just sounds like me going to school on acid one day. I'm like, oh my god, look at those Poke people.
Poke people.
Here's the thing. I actually came up with a relatively similar idea way back in like 2011 called Behind These Bars, where we were all animals in the zoo and we were just wearing like animal hats to represent those animals. It was fucking brilliant. I only did one episode of it. I kind of want to do it again now that we're talking about it. It was great.
That's fun.
I'll show you guys that monster donkey show maybe off the radio here.
I dig it. But yeah, that was my little quick and easy.
Speaking of animals, there's an Oklahoma state lawmaker that introduced a bill to establish a Bigfoot hunting season.
Anything to make money. Anything to make money.
So, like, the bill would require hunting licenses and comes with like a $25,000 reward for capture of fucking Bigfoot. It's to increase like tourism to the like, I can't pronounce this, a mountain range, which I'm not going to pronounce at this time because we know I can't pronounce shit on this show.
You
But
done
yeah.
been good with words, girl.
I can't do it. I think the people in Oklahoma could probably pronounce their own mountain range better than I could, but it looks like Ouachita Mountains. I don't know. Plays banjo.
I dig
Poorly.
it. Can we take
Yeah,
a group
but-
trip and go Bigfoot hunting?
Oh my god,
Of course
that'd
we
be
can.
so
I've got a
fucking
friend in
funny.
Oklahoma that we've got a house we can stay at.
Is he a conspiracy theorist?
It's a she, and she's down to get involved in conspiracy theories. Also, just
Let's
a
do
lovely
found
human.
footage horror.
Okay, great.
Found footage horror film.
Because here's the
Found footage horror film.
every time I've stepped foot into Oklahoma, I have had a terrible, awful experience. I hate Oklahoma so much.
Went to an
So-
Oklahoma prom once. I didn't live in Oklahoma. It was weird.
Oh my goodness.
We should literally call it hunting season. Found footage horror film. All of us go out there trying to find Bigfoot. We all end up dead for the sake of the horror film.
I'm down. I actually, what's funny, I recently, do y'all know who Max Brooks is? He wrote the zombie World War Z.
Yes.
So Max Brooks is a super fun ride. World War Z is a really cool book. The movie was decent. The movie also had really hardly anything to do with the book. But he wrote another one about Bigfoot people, about like Sasquatches. And his newest book, it's kind of like the first time you read the Dan Brown books, and you're like, I kind of definitely believe in all these conspiracy theories now. I read this Max Brooks book, and I was like, bro, Bigfoot's are real. Like,
Bigfoot's are
I was 100% sure. And there was a couple weeks after I read it where it's all I could think about, where I was like, I just want to go up to Washington and find me a fucking Sasquatch. Because it seems so realistic. And as you read the book, like, you have so much evidence for them actually existing. I don't know if it was real or not. He might have just made up all these fucking facts. But he writes, all of his books are written as like almost like found footage type things.
Here's the thing. Like, I could believe that Bigfoot exists for a very specific reason. And that reason is that there is so much wilderness that is just, for the most part, unexplored in the United States. There's just so like, people don't understand.
There's a lot of empty space in the States.
There's a lot of empty space. Like,
Yeah.
like people think, oh well, we're so civilized. And like, we only developed about maybe 10% of our actual like lands. That means 90% of it is just wilderness, caves, streams, shit to hide in and behind. Like, I could sit there and reasonably believe that maybe one or two Sasquatches or something similar to a Sasquatch would be living out and about.
For sure. And not to go all tinfoil on you, but there's like a tremendous amount of like evidence for like in the not so distant past for like big, like giants is what they call them, but in like almost every like holy book, every historical book, like like typical modern civilization talks about like giants that lived. And now that could be like a sort of clearly not like actual like giants, like a big fucking hill giant, but just people like another sort of species that might have been maybe descended from Homo neanderthalis or something that kind of went to the woods. And like genealogically, it makes sense. And they could have they lived deep in the woods and caves and mountains, underground systems. Like, it's doable. Again, I kind of believe in Bigfoot now. Max Brooks fucked me up, man. I legitimately kind of believe.
Have you heard of the White Walkers of Fresno?
White Walkers of Fresno?
Oh yes, this
sounds
no.
awesome.
No. It's for me. This is actually terrifying because there's lots of when I say lots of footage about these long, slender White Walkers, and they look absolutely silly. They look absolutely silly. They have no arms and these really weird gangly legs, and they just like waddle across streets.
Are they like cryptids or something?
Why are they only in Fresno?
Well, no, they're not only in Fresno, but the most sightings are in Fresno, and they actually hail farther back to Indians and Native Americans. Sorry, I don't think Indians is a proper term.
Either way.
Anyway, yeah, but the White Walkers, they're cute, but they're also kind of terrifying. That's the thing. They're cute and terrifying at the same time.
That's fun.
Whose the world are we on? Are we on yours still?
It was mine.
Okay.
I was talking about Bigfoot hunting season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't want to like big. I feel like that's a dangerous game though. Like because you might accidentally get like reverse most dangerous game to going out trying to hunt Bigfoot.
Well,
you end up getting hunted.
Well, that's it. What's scarier than looking for Sasquatch? It's finding him.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think $25,000 reward is probably big enough for the amount of like because especially if like they don't age. It might be like a super like centuries old creature, it might like have a different lifespan than us. So it's this old like wise kind of fucking forest troll.
Yes, but it also kind of hit me just now that like the moral implications of it, because assumedly like so they might be like intelligent creatures and we're like, let's just go fucking murder it. That's the most American thing I've ever heard.
I think it's for capture. I think you're supposed to capture it, not murder it.
You're supposed to capture it?
Well, imagine if you did.
How hard that would be.
You could teach it to like speak the language, and then all of a sudden Sasquatch is like on talk shows and stuff. It'd be Harry and the Hendersons, man.
What if his voice just sounded like how they have him in all the like how they have like the creepy things in all the movies where it's like a composite of like 4 different voices and it's like the voice of the ancients or some shit? How terrifying would that fucking be?
I think it'd be hilarious though if you walked up and it's just like, sup? And it like pops open a Sprite. Like, what are you talking about?
Anyway,
it's fine.
we're gonna push on. Look up Bigfoot and White Walkers and all the things. So mine's not nearly as cool. Mine is about weird foods that people have been eating lately. And you tell me if you would eat this. All right, number 1, grilled cheese and applesauce sandwich.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Cheese and apples is a fire combo.
It sounds, but it has to be like a strong cheese. Otherwise, I don't think it will work.
Yeah. I used to make like prosciutto, feta, and pear grilled sandwiches, and it was fire.
One of my favorite grilled cheeses, it's under the grilled cheese category at this like restaurant called Boudin or whatever. It's brie and apple grilled cheese and caramelized onions. That shit's fire.
For sure. Like, that's very similar to what I was making. I just did pears. Yeah. So good.
Mm-hmm. So apples do go on grilled cheese, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, here's a harder one. Cheetos cereal.
No.
I'm confused.
No.
What?
So the thought process is Cheetos are made with cheese and milk is dairy, so obviously these two could possibly go together. And here's the thing: the person who actually tried this, because of course they tried all these, the verdict, they say it's okay. They say it's okay. I would do it for the gram. I would do it for the gram. That's what I would do.
I mean, I've done worse for the gram, but I wouldn't. I just feel like it's like, I don't know. I mean, you're totally changing the structure of what cereal is. Cereal is a sweet thing, and you're making it a savory thing. So it's no longer like a cereal. It's more like Cheetos soup. It's like a cream soup now.
But it's cold.
That sounds good.
It's a Cheetos gazpacho.
Exactly. Like it's a Cheeto. I almost said Cheeto Gestapo. Very different. That's my vote for the name of this episode: Cheeto Gestapo.
Yeah, the flavor is called Final Solution. It's great.
Oh my god!
It's the last flavor you'll ever want to eat.
That's so intense.
So the mental image I have of the Cheetos cereal is reminding me of this Instagram page called Boys Who Can Cook, and it's just cursed food images. And I'm just thinking, like, if you're not following Boys Who Can Cook, you need to, because they just put beans on everything and in everything, and also good. horrible food atrocities.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Number 3, 7-Up and milk.
Nope.
Fuck you.
Apparently this has been around for a while. This was made back in the 1950s.
What?
Yep.
Okay, so they put Jello and everything in the 50s. I don't trust them.
So also, wouldn't it curdle? Isn't there like a lot of citric acid in it?
So the combo is used to quell child's upset stomach. So this was Pepto-Bismol for people. It's not terrible, apparently, as long as you drink it after you pour it, because if you do let it sit, it will leave a crusty milk floating at the top.
What on earth are they talking about?
Gross.
That's terrible. That would cause an upset stomach. You'd have like fucking. It's like
7-Up by itself, fine. 7-Up plus milk. The milk is the thing that's gonna cause you to like upchuck, man. Like no.
And our last one here is not too bad. I could see this working. Oreos and dill pickles.
First of all, pickles are good with everything. So like,
Yeah.
I've been so surprised that you can put a pickle on and it's great. So like, I wouldn't be surprised that it'd be good.
I'd try it.
Apparently, between the crunchiness and the sweetness of the Oreo, like apparently it makes a dill pickle taste like a bread and butter pickle.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh,
No.
never mind.
No,
Now I'm out.
No,
I'm out.
No.
Pass.
Fuck that.
Oh.
No. Fuck the bread and butter.
So I actually love this little list that I found, and this might actually turn into a new segment about talking about weird foods and things and stuff. I'm glad this exists, even as gross as some of this is. We're gonna go ahead and move on from THWDO, and we're gonna jump into. So we typically do video games in real life. We're kind of running out of video games to talk about. So
are you for real?
I'm not for real, but what I want
for real?
Not in the real sense, but I want to open up in the real world to other things, such as maybe living in the supernatural universe or some other universe. So today we're gonna be talking about living in the Star Trek universe because your boy's a Trekkie.
I'm down.
Woo.
So
Red shirt.
yes, luxury gay space communism. How do you feel about it?
What did you just say? Did you say gay space communism?
Luxury gay space communism. That is what Star Trek really is at heart.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So in this world, what would you do? Can you see yourself living in this world, and how and why?
Yeah, I could totally, go no place anyone's ever gone before, be fun. I just want to go see all the different planets, meet all the different people, have crazy, holodeck adventures.
I thought you were going to say alien sex.
That's what I thought she was going. I thought that's where it was going.
She's like, I was, but...
She's about to become a female Riker. She's going to have like every alien in every episode.
Yeah. I'm not going to be Riker. I'm not going to be that much of a cad.
Oh, dude, if I was going to be anyone, I'm Riker. Straight up, I am the Riker of this world.
I love Jean-Luc Picard so much, but it seems like the man is so stressed all his hair fell out. I mean, I know they cast a bald dude anyway, but I'm like, do I want this much stress? And then I'm like, well, maybe Crusher. She's pretty cool. But then I'm like, that's also a lot of responsibility. Yeah. So I guess Riker is the best choice.
Just be Zap Brannigan, man. Just be Zap Brannigan.
I think this is the easiest one in the world. Anyone who doesn't want to live in the Star Trek world, I think is insane, because it's the greatest thing. Like literally your society defeated the Fermi paradox. You somehow made it through. We've won civilization, and now we're just out in the universe exploring, doing new things, testing new sciences. That is everything. That is the core of what humanity is. It is curiosity at its best. It's our need for exploration, need to see things, our curiosity. It's everything. Star Trek is perfect. And
unless
if I
you're
could go
in
to
engineering.
Space, if you wear a red shirt, you're gonna die. I would do anything to do that. I would give anything to. I was one of those stupid people that signed up to go to the Mars mission that turned out to be fake. Well, I would. Yeah, that sounds amazing. It's everything I'd want. And you get to fuck aliens. That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna go fuck some aliens and rise up. There's so much in the Star Trek universe I love. I'm a deep lore person when it comes to Star Trek and all the weird shit that just happens. And if you were to ask me where I would be, honestly, I hate to say, I would probably just hang out with Ferengis all day. I don't know why.
Expand on that. Tell me what
So okay,
which ones are they?
The ones with the big ears and orange and
hyper. Gotcha.
Here's the thing, I understand that
kind of look like Muppets.
They're hyper. They're hyper capitalistic, awful individuals, but they also seem to know how to have a good time. If you ever watched Deep Space Nine, that's my Trek. I love Deep Space Nine. And they just they party, they chill, they do casino games.
They're also they're slimy capitalists, like you said.
And they're also slimy.
The only ones you want to hang out with are the slimy ones.
Well, I would also hang out with Klingons. If I were to hang out with anyone, it would be Klingons and and Ferengis. Like I would never hang out with a human ever the fuck again. That's even Trek level like enlightened humans. They just even then they still kind of suck. You know,
we're the worst things in the world. We're
like
the worst things for everything.
Even 400 years in the future, when we're better than now, we are still the shittiest things in the galaxy. Like that's all. That is all Star Trek really proved.
For sure.
And for me, like I would be a holodeck addicted person. Like why even go anywhere else? Like just be on the holodeck all day every day. It's just with that level of immersion, you don't need to go anywhere else. And I don't like. I understand the need for exploration, but you know, there's no currency, and I've never understood this thing where in Deep Space Nine there's no currency, but you also have to do everything in Latinum. You know, like Latinum is the currency there, and I don't understand why they use it at all. I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
As I've delved into the world at large, like the Star Trek, there's a lot of what's the word? When contradictory things. When I'm like, I don't know about any of this and all this. But definitely hang out with Klingons. Definitely hang out with Ferengis.
I wouldn't want to hang out with either of those, and I think you're crazy. You either want to hang out with a bunch of murder hobos or little slimy casino babies. Like those are your two buddies. There's like so many people.
Because I am a murder hobo casino baby.
Yeah, you're a murder hobo casino baby. That's fair.
Yes.
There's your T-shirt.
I'm a murder hobo casino.
Hold on, I've died. Someone take over.
I mean, like, I'd probably try to piss off the Vulcans as much as possible, just because they're
Vulcans are such dicks.
Such dicks.
I'm just gonna annoy the fuck out of them, and then one of them's gonna be like, "Hey, want to mate with me?" And I'll just be like, "No."
I hate like.
Would you like to mate with me?
For me, it's a bunch of
we do.
spoonheads are the ones that I would not hang out with. The Cardassians, like.
You're just literally just like choosing all of the worst fucking people, all the rich capitalists.
No, I'm saying
people.
I'm saying I wouldn't hang out with them because like they all talk like they're hanging out with Shakespeare all day. And like they make good bad guys. I think they make the best bad guys. Like, you know, but every time, you know, like in Deep Space Nine, you know, you have Ducat who's like, "Attention, Bajoran workers," and I'm just like, oh. We're gonna go back to the 16th century. They're so pretentious, and I hate that. I hate that so much.
Just punch him in the face. You'd be the person to punch him in the face.
And they do have the most punchable faces in Star Trek, I think, absolutely, without a doubt. And
I'd probably end up being there with them then.
Well,
punchability high.
Well, there's so much about law and order, like. Because I know that Cardassians, for the most part, they are an allegory to the Russians. Actually, they're an allegory to the Russians during that time frame, and I don't know. Like, there's so much parallelism in Star Trek to like races in countries, which I think is interesting. For sure. Like, because you have Klingons who are like part samurai, part Viking. You have the Enterprise, which is, you know, American capitalism at its finest.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not capital. I mean, they don't. I'm 100% not. Like, I think that's one of the things that they were moving away from was like the American ideals, because they're not like an imperialist thing. I mean, even like the number one doctrine is not affecting people. Like, if they're just explorers. I think if anything, it's being like it. It's not talking about America, like what the Enterprise is and what the idea of Star Trek is like what we should be, what we could be.
Yes.
Like just explorers. So like I think it is a very optimistic thing because like they're not super capitalist at all.
Here's the thing. I find Star Trek is the weirdest thing in the world because like if you're left leaning or right leaning, you have something for everyone because it's interpreted very differently. Where the left, you have all this inclusivity that exists, but for the right, they see it as a quasi-military thing where every single emotion can be quantified and objected by science. And it's so weird. It's so like I'm on a lot of Star Trek forums, and watching them go back and forth on what Star Trek represents is the fucking usually highlight of my day, because people lawyer the fuck up about everything.
Oh, people have opinions on it for fucking sure.
It's great. I love it. Anyway, that's my take on
I'm in some of those groups with you, Sam, and I see it too. I just don't comment.
Star Trek shit posting for days.
I love Star Trek shit posting.
Point being, though, I mean, I would 100% be there. I would be on that Enterprise. It'd be the first. I'd love to just go explore, see things. It's incredible. That's an easy one for me.
If I were to be on a ship, it would probably be the Prometheus, because the Prometheus' sole job is to terraform planets. And I love that idea where it's like, I'm just going to go to this planet and make it better. Yes.
As long as you're not destroying like what the planet once was. And that's one of the things that's a slippery slope of judges. Like, what do you mean by better? If you go to like a barren planet and make it not barren, but a lot of times you go into these things where it's like, I'm going to reform your planet to make it work for me.
One of the best Trek episodes, it was called In the Pale Moonlight, and it's about Cisco basically in first person talking about how he committed an entire genocide of a planet. And basically at the end, he was just like, dealing with the morality of that. And he just kind of leans into the camera and he's like, this is war and I would do it again. And he just like walks away. I love Captain Cisco. He's such a badass. Not for that, but I mean, in general,
genocide is dope.
No, this goes back to the whole character. He is such a good character. There we go.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And although I hear
like he's a war criminal, Sam.
He's
what are you
war
doing?
criminal, low-key murder hobo that everyone respects.
Yeah, because you can be a well-written character, an evil monster, but
yeah, we're gonna jump out of this in real life, and we're gonna jump into celebrity D&D. Yeah,
neat.
And we're gonna do a hard one because I feel like we haven't done a hard one before. We haven't really done a hard one yet. And this hard
Are you sure? Have we not done a hard one yet?
We really don't. Like, we've actually done some relatively easy ones. So hard. That's gonna be a gift. We're gonna do Rick Moranis, star of late 80s, early 90s comedies. And I wanted it to be hard because so far I feel like the ones we've been doing have been easy, and I want to see where he would fit into.
I think this one's pretty easy too.
You think it's easy?
Well, I guess I don't think that this just isn't a hard thing, because I think it's like, I don't know. I've made so many hundreds of characters, like, to me, like this, there's not like a hard one. There's ones where people might not have like a specific niche, but that just means it's more open. But yeah, I've already got an idea for Rick Moranis.
All right. Well, let's start off with you then. I want to see what you got.
I mean, no, I'm not saying like I need to write it. I will, whatever, I'll go. So point being, I would put him as and this is specifically, I think, jumping off like a kind of Ghostbusters thing, have him like a gnome tinkerer, have like an artificer, and have like this character be someone, a very like NPC type character that's always like, again, like lives in a little fucking laboratory under a mountain and is always just like pumping out shit, super clever, like and we could even riff off of between like Honey I Shrunk the Kids, Ghostbusters, like all these different things, and have those moments in the game where like he accidentally makes like because there's a shrink and large spell, and like make something where it's like a super shrink spell where you don't just go 1/8 your size, you go like 1/50th your size, and now you're dealing with like a micro D&D game, and like all the bad guys are like now like ants and cockroaches. There's all kinds of fun stuff you could do, but that's where I would go with him.
I have a really fun idea for a backstory for that, where essentially he wasn't like, he had an apprenticeship basically. Mm-hmm. And essentially his master died really early on in this apprenticeship, but he didn't really tell anyone. So he just kind of self-taught on his own. And so he's kind of like this bumbling artificer as a result. Mm-hmm. And so like, he tends to be sort of like a random glass cannon sometimes, where, a mistake turns into a really big fucking mistake. And like a mistake so big that it would turn into its own quest just to unfuck this mistake.
I dig it.
I think also one of the things of his backstory is he might have fallen in love with the giantess based off of the fact that he was like super into Sigourney Weaver in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And he's been like trying to discover a way to make himself bigger so he can be with this woman who doesn't know he exists.
That's so funny.
And I like the idea that he's like an absolutely infuriating person to be around, but he's
annoying as hell.
But he's so affectionately lovable. There's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah. We could also put him sort of at odds with real Elon Musk. To where like this is the little like tiny tinkerer in the mountain who's just bumbling through, but is like kind of brilliant and accidentally stumbles across like these incredible scientific discoveries. Whilst at the other side of things, you have real Elon Musk in his like metal lotus facility, who just hates him, and maybe like he's constantly trying to like get rid of him so that he doesn't have any competition or like kill little Rick Moranis or steal his inventions. And so we'd have like a brood war between like Stumbly Bumbly over here and then real Elon Musk.
Even better. Rick Moranis' character is the reason Elon Musk is there. He fucked up so bad that actual Elon Musk got sucked into the D&D world and has hated his...
He's our Ghostbusters Vigo.
Yes.
He got Vigo'd into that reality. That's super funny.
And so like every time he sees him, like you just see this like seething hatred of Elon Musk, and like Rick Moranis like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to fix this. I don't know what to do.
That's hilarious. Absolutely. That could be like the main mistake. Like that could be the quest. Like they could be put them together is like you stumble across him and he lets you know, he's like, I might have accidentally summoned a guy from a different dimension who's now causing havoc. And so you have to go try to like reality shift Elon Musk out of this world.
But
he takes with him a fae named Grimes.
Yes.
I sense fae posting here.
Yes.
Fae posting.
Absolutely.
No, and the best thing about this, like, tall women being the exclusive thing, maybe like he has a thing for like Stevie Nicks, like that's like part of it too.
The goddess he worships.
Yes,
yeah.
He worships the god Stevie Nicks. Like he prays to Stevie Nicks when things get weird.
Sure. I love that. I'm all about it.
Oh my goodness. So we have this bumbly stumbly artificer. So would you consider him a combatant in general? I mean, does he have the temperament as such, or is he the one
he runs and hides? I think he runs and hides.
I think he would have, once again, like I think like he's that glass cannon type character where I wouldn't tell people to play as him, but I would have him as an NPC that could protect himself with gadgets and potions and bombs and stuff, but then but doesn't really have anything. It's not like you wouldn't like be up in the mix. But you could have like little minions, have like little robots or little like automatons that like work with him and stuff. Maybe he might have made refuge in an old like Druger or Dwarven sort of citadel. So he has like ancient Dwarven ruins to work with. And so he has these old Dwarven automatons like he kicks it with. And he's like buddies with some Ironforged or some Warforged. And he's had free reign over this old Dwarven workshop. So while he isn't a combatant, he might have like an army of goons of like little automatons that work for him.
I just thought of something really funny. Like I just imagine him in his spare time making little apology bots to send to Elon Musk.
Yeah, he just sends them, like have like a little note and like a little atomic spider goes by.
And and the thing is, like Elon Musk like keeps destroying the robot. He's not even like looking at it. He keeps destroying the robot. So he keeps finding new ways to send him these robots. So like one comes flying, one comes tunneling, one comes walking.
I love it. I think it's great. I'm all about it.
I see him as a lawful good. He's definitely a lawful good character.
I wouldn't know about lawful. Just the lawful generally goes along with like a sense of, or like a more like resolute stoic type, but certainly good. I think he'd be more like chaotic because he's a little like kind of crazy and like doesn't necessarily adhere to anything. Because if we make him this sort of goofy guy, I think it would be much more like a chaotic, but definitely good. Like I think he wants to do but he might like make mistakes because he's like a silly kind of bumbly character.
I and another person I imagine coming into this is like Mickey Rourke. Like they have like this really weird, super like friendly friendship, the way that like a German Shepherd would have with a cat.
Yeah, that's a buddy cop show I would watch in a second.
It's like that comic, like Pixie and Brutus.
Yeah, it's like Pixie and Brutus. Like that's exactly how I see it. And like I just imagine him like riding on his shoulders, and he's just like got this like contraption on his head, so it's like a 3 totem pole thing.
Yeah, it's like the Mandalorian and Nick
Baby
Nolte's
Yoda.
character.
Yes.
It's like the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
Yes.
That is super funny. But yeah, and I think I think it'd be a lot of fun having a kind of character like that. That's sort of goofy, a lot more. It'd be a charming, like jovial little thing you could throw in there. But it can give you huge power ups.
Yeah. The last thing I would ask about this character is like, you know, why does he want to continue being a stumbly bumbly artificer? Because like it's one thing to like, you know, if you're really good at what you're doing, it's one thing, but you know, if he's an awesome but also super shitty artificer, like what's the motivation for continuing to do it?
I think we stick with like the love thing. Stick with maybe he's like a super romantic. Like the only thing he cares about, like while he's an artificer, what you don't realize, you could like find a bunch of his journals and he just writes love poetry all day, like when he's off, talking about his giantess that he's in love with. He's always like writing notes and trying to like make friends. I think he probably is just kind of like, he's super weird and no one wants to be around him. And like all he really wants is like have friends. Maybe that's why he makes all these automatons that stay around him, because he's just kind of lonely because no one likes him. And then he's in love with a giant who doesn't care about him. He looks up to Elon Musk, who hates him. And he's just a lonely, lovable little guy.
Actually,
if you can get him a date, he'll give you anything he wants.
What if Stevie Nicks does love him? What if that's like a thing? Where like
then it'd be harder to give him a motivation, but I like it.
Well, no, like if anything, it actually adds to both stories in the sense that maybe she is in love with him, but she's a god, and you know, this would be highly embarrassing for her to love such a lowly level of human. But he also loves her because well, he loves her because, you know, she has this high charisma that brings people together, and it's like everything that he wants and sees in this person, other than also being super tall. So like I imagine they have this weird love that can't ever touch each other, kind of like, you know, they're always circling around. And
so no, he's like a hopeless romantic. Stevie Nicks does love him, but she's like the only one that he's like not into it. So like the only one who doesn't really like is maybe he's like really intimidated or like really doesn't dig Stevie Nicks' vibe at all. So you have Stevie Nicks, who loves little Tinkerer, the Tinkerer who's just desperate for love, but is like genuinely terrified or like disgusted by Stevie Nicks. Is like, nah, that's not my thing. No, sorry, lady. And she's like, I'm a literal goddess. What's the fucking problem here? And he's just like, I'm just not into it.
What if he's like, I really don't believe in religion or anything. So.
He's convinced she isn't real because she's supposed to be a goddess, and he refuses to accept that she's a real thing. And he thinks she's just a part of his imagination.
No, even better, he's
That's
like,
so funny.
And he's like, anything that you can do, I can explain by science. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my. It's not that he doesn't believe she's real. He thinks she's a fraud. So he's constantly trying to like disprove her goddesshood. And that somehow makes her kind of like more endeared to him because she thinks it's hilarious. But then she gets frustrated because she's like, no, I really am. Like, it's not funny anymore. I am a goddess. And he's like, sure you are, sweetie.
So her whole quest or side quest is trying to prove that her powers exist to this guy.
Yeah. And because if because as an artificer, like you have magical powers. So he can do magic and stuff. So a lot of times when she does like very she's a goddess, she can do whatever she wants. He's just like, yeah, I mean, I can figure. Give me a week, I'll make a spell. I'll figure it out. I can do that too.
And that would be and the funny part is maybe she's like shooting off god tier spells or whatever, and he's just like, science doesn't do anything to me. Don't care. Whatever. You're fraud.
That's hilarious. That is such a funny dynamic.
Oh my goodness.
So funny.
I would play a side campaign with just these two and just those things and just try to figure that out. That is so fun.
Yeah, I could definitely write a story about that. That'd be hilarious. I dig it.
Yeah, honestly, this was more fun than I thought it was going to be. Like, I knew this was going to be fun, but I love working out characters with you guys.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna mosey on.
Mosey on down.
We're gonna mosey on to the hills we die on.
Oh, it's fighting time.
Yes.
You're gonna hate mine, Sam.
I don't. I imagine that I will. I do have one though.
I imagine I will.
But this one, it's not necessarily controversial. It's just something that I've noticed forever, and it bugs the shit out of me because it's A, it's lazy writing, B, it's lazy writing, and C, it indicates such a large trope. And I mean, it really is such a large trope that we don't even notice it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I hate dance. I hate when movies end on a dance sequence, essentially, like a music.
That is such a specific thing.
I hate it
When they end on a dance scene. Like, give me an example.
Yeah.
Like Shrek. Shrek's a good example. Like it wraps up and then dance scene. Everyone's dancing around, and oh my god, I saw her face. Like, now, Shrek is just one example of so many thousands of movies. Whether you're watching the movie This Is the End, whether you're like, it's just it's so
very. I think it's more specific than you think it is.
I know it's so specific, and I know it's such a weird hill to die on, but I'm just burnt out of the idea where it's like, hey, let's wrap this up with a dance sequence. Everyone's happy, end credits. It's so
I think
crazy.
you'd love that. Usually you love fucking singing, dancing, and jovial bullshit like that.
No, I do. The thing is, if it's a musical, if it's intent of being like a musical movie or something, yes, that makes sense. But if it's a movie that doesn't necessarily call for this thing, it just seems so disjarred, and it just seems so not necessary. Just close it out. Everyone, however you need to build this narrative to close it out, do that. Because if you don't do that, it just feels like you just didn't try. Like, I hate it. I know it's dumb. It is. I'm not really on your hill because I don't. You don't have to be on my hill. This is my hill. Yeah, no, I know it's dumb, but it's not dumb. I mean, I have some dumb ones too, but it's again, like, that is such a strange thing, especially for you to dislike. I think I think it really stems as being a kid, and more importantly, being a Disney kid. Did no one ever dance with you at your birthday parties? Is that what it is? Are you reflecting? Well, at the church dances, I would dance with chairs because no one would dance with me.
But could you lift all the chairs to show the ladies you were strong?
That's how you do it.
Only if I was help setting up, but that's neither here or there. The thing is, I got kind of burnt out on this whole everything's great, everyone dance about it thing, and
you just hate happiness.
Didn't we talk about this a few weeks ago? Both of you hate happiness.
I love happiness. I don't like lazy writing, and I feel like the end of a dancing ending with the dance sequence is lazy writing. That's okay. Mine's shorts. This one's a short one for me, but that's what I got. That's okay. I mean, I will say, this isn't my hill, but what I will say is I don't care about like Dance versus the Ants. I fucking loathe when shows that aren't musicals randomly throw in a musical episode. Oh yeah, get out of my fucking life. What are you doing? Why are you singing and dancing? Like on The Magicians and Sabrina and shit like that. It happens a lot.
Riverdale. Oh god.
It's why. Stop it. All of you stop it. None of you can sing.
And also, like, yeah, none of you can sing, and like you shouldn't be. So who the fuck decided to do this? Everyone looks stupid and like.
Yeah. Stop it. It makes me super mad, but that's all right. Tiny hill. That's a little mound, correlated mound. But the Buffy musical, that was great. Shut up. Shut your mouth. No, it's not. Musicals are. I mean, see, again, you're a musical kid. I don't like that shit. I think it's stupid. I also hate musicals for the most part. Anyway, sorry. We'll argue that hill some other time. What's the main hill? What's the main hill you got? Okay, I don't think I've done this one before. I hate parody music. I despise Weird Al Yankovic. I hate parody music. It seems trashy, and it seems cheap, and it seems like it doesn't seem like authentic. I despise it. I used to work at a Star Wars bar in Hollywood, and we play Baby Yoda, that fucking song. And it drives nails into my fucking ears. I hate it. I hate parody music. I hate parodies in general. I just hate parody. I hate parody movies as well. Like, stop riffing off other things because you don't have a good idea. Like, and I get that it can be intelligent, and I'm not disrespecting Weird Al or any of these people for not being smart, because I do think it takes a lot of time to make a parody, but I still think you sound fucking dumb. I don't like it.
So are you mad about the fact that they're ripping music for their own lyrics? Like, is there like a line where the parody is okay versus not? Because like satire is a form of parody in a way. Like, is that where does that line for you kind
It is
of cut?
satire is very much so. I mean, I see it. I guess the line is more if you take something and if you just copy something and make something that's not a comedy, like it's the like a good satire, like something that is alluding to another thing, is, I think, charming and authentic. But
Wait,
if
do
you
hate
just,
Spaceballs?
I don't like Spaceballs at all.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, don't like it.
So
there's like maybe 2 jokes in like Scary Movie that I enjoyed. Besides that, like, I don't like any of these fucking.
well, Scary Movie's garbage though. Like that's
Yeah.
garbage.
That's like the only one that I even kind of like. Actually, Not Another Teen Movie had some bangers in it. But again, Not Another Teen Movie wasn't a direct parody. It was more of like a giant.
Well, that was a satire. It was a satire on the trope, is what it was.
Exactly. And so I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, if you make something where it is an authentic story and you are just like alluding to a bunch of stuff, that's fine. But if you just copy something and remake something exactly as it was, as something different, like Spaceballs, for instance, I think that's dumb. I think it was trashy. It's also an 80s movie. I fucking hate the 80s.
Yep. Yep.
And I think it's cheap, and I think it's inauthentic.
Well, I mean, I guess there's a further argument there where it's like, how do you feel about postmodernism then? Because it's kind of the same thing where you deconstruct one thing to create another, which is essentially what parody is for the most part.
I mean,
do you have
give me a specific example when you say postmodernism. Like, what exactly are you referring to?
Postmodernism is a good example of that would be Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I don't like it. I like that one a lot more than most like parody stuff, but I still think it's like. But I that whole genre though, like, even so, everyone's gonna hate me for this. Cancel me. I don't think The Princess Bride is as good as everyone says it
You
is.
eat a dick and die in a fire.
Like,
Oh my god!
And because it seems silly, I think part of the problem is I'm not a goofy, silly person.
It's part of the charm.
love
I know.
Princess Bride.
I'm not a big fan of like goofy, silly
cancel.
whimsy's not my jam.
Oh my! I'm dying. I'm just turning your.
I mean, do you
gun
not
badge.
know me? All I talk about is masochism, hate, and darkness. Like, that's who I like. What about whimsical worlds do you think I enjoy?
I don't know. Really,
and that is not me saying that Princess Bride's a bad movie. I just think I think it is a nostalgia movie that a lot of people say they love, but it's like, all right, cool. Like, when's the last time you watched it? I don't fucking know. Most people just like to be on the train.
I probably watch it like once every 2 years. Like,
yeah,
it's a watch for me.
But it's also like one of your hills that it's like that is your fucking thing. Like, you love that movie.
Because
I just like it because of the dialogue. I mean, obviously, it's not Shakespeare. It's not amazing dialogue, but there's like some good lines out of there.
Oh no!
And like the chemistry between Wesley and Buttercup was amazing as well. So I'm just like, that's why I like it.
Don't take me out of context. I didn't say it's a bad movie. I like Princess Bride. I do like that movie. I'm just saying that whole genre of kind of like goofy, silly, like the Robin Hood Men in Tights, like there's a specific like whimsical, goofy genre that sort of like a bunch of things fit in that area. Mm-hmm. And that's just not my favorite type, but that kind of leads, that is not, it's congruent, but not the same as parody. But parodies specific, I don't like parodies. I dislike the music. I dislike movies. I dislike when you just copy something and slap like a comedy aspect over it. It's a facade that I don't appreciate.
All right, I should move on to mine because we're running out of time. So I guess we're sticking with movies. I fucking hate disaster movies. I think they're stupid, and I think it's like I just don't like them. I really don't, except for like, fuck, what was that one with Jake Gyllenhaal, the one where it's like ridiculous amount of like there's like the environmentalist one where like the poles switch or something, and
Oh,
then it's,
yeah.
like, super cold.
2012?
Yeah, it's 2012.
No, that was before.
I know what you're talking about, though.
I haven't watched it forever, but I remember like kind of liking it because
is it The Day After Tomorrow?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
That's the only disaster movie that I actually like because he had decent acting and Emmy Rossum is fine.
Yeah, I think that started like the trend of those though, because I think that was
there
like
were disaster movies in the 80s. Like
there were disaster movies,
Adventure,
but this was like the apocalypse
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bunch of very similar movies that happened like right in a row, and I think The Day After Tomorrow was like started kind of that trend of like, oh, we're trapped in New York during the apocalypse.
There's like there's one that was on like Hulu or something that came out in 2016. My mom's been watching a lot of disaster movies, which like she shows me scenes from it. I'm like, the acting's horrible. Like the casting doesn't make sense. First of all, they cast like a white girl to be part like Latina. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Aerosmith is a thing.
I'm just like, okay, like they have high budget sometimes for like the CG, but like you can see where all of their money went in these movies is just for like the CG, and the acting's god awful. It's just like
disaster porn. People love disaster porn.
I just think they're pointless. I just think they're dumb. And like I just don't like them at all. I'm
halfway up your hill, like, because I can watch them. I think they're fun, but I do get it. I think they're mostly dumb. They're almost all just like really stupid. Do you remember the movie 1111 came out a while back? It was such a fucking nightmare of a movie. But it was another like world ending, but it was about spirits and stuff.
We do need to wrap up because we've been doing it a while, but yes, I'm definitely on that hill with you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching our show. Shannon, where can we find you in the world?
You can find me Shanny Bees on Twitch TV, and eventually, I know I said this last week, but I might start my YouTube, which is also Shanny Bees. But yeah, and then also here on chucklesluts, Shani Bernetti on Instagram, Shanny B on Twitter, Shanny Be Happy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You can find me shambling around town drunk. But also on Instagram at zclap1. And then I will be releasing a bunch of footage or TV stuff on YouTube's and on the TV's TV show called Becoming Famous, and a short film series called Star Wars Bounty Hunters Season Deliver. Very soon. They'll all be linked in the bio when they come out.
Okay, I would give you the long one, but we are running out of time. You can find me here at chucklesluts with these guys, and maybe growing mushrooms on my head when I'm at home. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Because without you, this is not worth doing. We will see you next week. Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Chucklesluts. You made it to the big 2-0. We're almost old enough to drink. My name is Samuel Luck.
I'm Shady Brunetti.
I'm gay Kurt Cobain.
I'm
Zach Clapper.
Gay Cobain.
Gay Cobain.
Yes. And
smells like Teen Spirit in here.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I'm wearing the same T-shirt for 3 weeks. It's certainly gotta.
What are you, a '90s cartoon character, bro?
It's my Dylan Farnum collection. Okay, just let it be. Anyway, we're going to do something slightly different. We're not going to start off with THWDO. We're going to actually start off with Get Rekt today. Who wants to start us off?
I can.
Go for it, Shanani Nani.
So, I work at a surf shop. I don't surf, but my dad is a huge surfer, and he watches this movie on repeat, so I've seen it like 11 billion times. It's called The Endless Summer. It came out in 1966, and it's what caused like the whole surfing boom. Once this movie came out in theaters, it was just like really cool, you know, people filming surfers for like the first time in a motion picture length like surf video. Basically, it's like a documentary about people surfing in Hawaii and then off the coast of California, and it's actually super cool because you get to see how like surfing was in the 1960s. And I'm not a surfer, and I really fucking enjoy it. And it's just very peaceful too. If you want to have something on in the background as you're trying to go to sleep, my dad passes out to it all the time on the couch. But it's not boring. It's just very nice. The music's just nice and peaceful. The cinematography is beautiful. And it's just like super fucking zen of a movie.
dig that.
Does
I definitely, there's a fun vibe for like sort of like classic West Coast like beachy movies. They just have like a fun kind of thing. Even when they read it, like I don't know what the new like The Lords of Dogtown came out maybe like 10, 15 years ago. It had that same vibe and I loved it.
I found that movie kind of boring. Like I couldn't get into it. I wanted to, because I love this. Like the trailers were cool, and I watched it. It's like, it was an okay movie, I guess. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I was just saying, like the vibe is cute. I was getting at.
Even the original Lords of Dogtown wasn't as cool. Like it didn't incite the same like emotion and like vibe for me that Endless Summer did. So
yeah, no, I'll give it a watch. Again, I like those styles of movies. I haven't seen that one, but I'm down. I can go.
Hold on, real quick. Endless Summer, is it like a narrative thing? Is there like a storyline, or is it just people surfing?
So it's like the guy who made the movie is narrating it. And it's his footage and stuff from him and his buddies. And he talks about his summer that he went surfing. And he was like, it was the endless summer. So it's kind of like him documenting his trip to go surfing all around all these different places.
So it's a documentary.
Yeah, it's a documentary, but it's kind of like he tells you about like his trip. And they show like the people and the places that they're surfing. And it has a kind of narrative vibe to it. But like there is like a narrative story to it. But it is a documentary.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Zach, what do you got?
I am gonna go with this is actually an 80s movie. Weirdly, something I wouldn't normally like. There's a sci-fi movie called Enemy Mine, which is I don't know if it was a big movie or not. My dad really liked it. He made me watch it when I was young. It's just a super cool movie. Dennis Quaid was in it back in the day, and to shorten it super fast, basically like a human pilot crash lands like on a little or on like a different planet or a moon or something. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. But lands and then is sort of captured by an alien. And he's like an alien that adverse to his cause. They're enemies and somehow. But with them being captured, they're both stuck and landlocked on this planet. And they kind of like learn about each other's culture. And they end up becoming like really good friends to protect each other. And kind of like you switch through a lot of emotions going through this. And but it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of like weird shit in the movie that seemed a little ahead of its time. It was just a really like charming film. But there's I don't know. It was just it's a good 80s romp. Lots of like some random cheap sci-fi action. But it was cool. I enjoyed it very much. There's definitely a scene where Dennis Quaid has to eat alien poop. That sucks. Not my favorite part of the movie, but a big plot point.
Wait, why does he have to? Like it's one thing
because Dennis Quaid's gonna die because he doesn't have any food to eat, and the alien does have food, and the alien's like, well, my species doesn't like digest nutrients the same way yours does, so you can eat that. That'll have enough nutrients for you to survive. And it's literally the only thing he can eat. So like force feeds Dennis Quaid like the poop so he can survive.
Oh my god!
But then they end up he raises the alien son. It's cute. It ends up being charming and nice. They're space pirates. It's pretty cool.
I almost want to recommend something very similar. I mean, not to that, but like Mom and Dad Saved the World is what was on my mind, but I think I'll save that for another Get Wrecked. My Get Wrecked today is a completely forgotten Don Bluth film called Titan AE.
The animated one?
I needed to watch that.
That movie's it's not forgotten. That movie's great.
It's a great fucking movie that no one gives a shit exists anymore. Like it doesn't come up in like recommendations. It doesn't come up on Reddit anymore. It doesn't come up anywhere, and it bugs the shit out of me because it was so.
It's a good movie.
It's so good.
It's a real good movie. I loved it. I'm a huge fan of that movie.
And that's why I'm recommending, because it's been buried to time, and it has to be seen by the new generation.
Can we also talk about how Don Bluth can only draw men two ways? Like with the same haircut, it's like either they're a bear or they're a twink. Like either one. Like Dimitri from Anastasia has that same fucking haircut, and I'm like, bro.
You know, I didn't notice it until you said something, but yeah. So for those who don't know what Titan, it's a great fucking story about Earth is getting smashed by an alien who is worried about the potential of humans, so might as well knock them out while we can. In desperation, they build this massive ship called Titan AE. They send it off into space, and then we all become a bunch of drifter colony bums out the universe, and we're like on our last legs, and they're trying to find this ship that is supposed to help rebuild humanity. But I mean, that the story's great. It's a short film, actually. I think it's like a 70-minute film. It's very short, but it's so good in terms of like the development, and realistically, the music makes it. The music was mostly
Does have a really good score.
It has a great score by a band, early 2000s band called Lit. Well, late 90s, early 2000s, but a band called Lit and a couple other bands. I still have the soundtrack on my iTunes somewhere, but the music alone is worth it. The characters and the aliens are super cool, and what really sold it for me was that scene where he goes to sit down and eat, and you see all the little aliens jumping off the plate.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a good attention to detail there. That, and like, it was weird because it was 2D and 3D elements that were in this movie.
It kind of had like a space pirate vibe too, because he goes on like, they're on like the pirate ship, right?
Yeah,
it's fucking cool. There's space pirates, there's alien battles, there's so much cool shit in that movie.
There's space bikes, with a song called Cosmic Castaway that I always think about when I'm like on a road trip. I highly recommend this movie. If you can find it, that's the big thing. It is hard to find. The one that I have is on VHS, I think. If you can find
Apparently you can rent it for $4 and watch it on YouTube right now.
Yay!
Yeah.
And that is the only place you can watch it if you want to stream it.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Like I said, it
Thanks,
was
YouTube.
a hard find. But we're gonna move on from Get Rekt. We're gonna jump into what is it in the world? We're gonna jump into Celebrity D&D. Initially, we were gonna do Wallace Shawn from.
We're not doing Wallace Shawn?
We're not gonna do Wallace Shawn because we talked about it. We talked about him a lot actually last episode. Sort of through Princess Bride and also through Deep Space Nine, because he's in that too.
I guess. Is he the fucking?
He's the Ferengi.
Is he the slimy?
He's
slimy
the
casino baby.
He's the Grand
He's the slimy
Negus.
casino baby.
Yeah.
The
Oh my god, I
slimy
didn't even
casino
realize that.
Yeah. Like it's one of his
Neat.
better roles. And I feel like we talked about him so much. We're gonna do it again. Fuck it. We're gonna talk about it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. I thought
First of all, goblin. Period.
Yep. Goblin. A goblin merchant. A goblin merchant.
Oh, that's actually perfect. Oh my god. Sorry, we're going ahead. I apologize. He looks like a goblin in real life.
Yes, goblin merchant who essentially is a straight up arms dealer, good or bad, doesn't matter. Like he's the perfect level of slime when he needs to be.
For sure.
He always carries lidocaine powder with him.
Yeah, no, making him a merchant, that's brilliant because that could give him like connections to the underworld and through different things. Like he's back channel goblin kobold connected
in with maybe the Zentarum. He's like buddy friends with some Zentarums, but he's not like part of it because they don't fucking trust him.
Yeah.
Well, he's the kind of guy that you would call for like the most very last of resorts. Like he is, because no matter what happens, like no matter what deal you have with them, there's always going to be some scum on your fucking shoe as a result.
For sure. He's definitely one of those where like and then the last listener's like, I mean, I got a guy. Like, I don't want to call him, but I got a guy if you need it.
Wait a second. What if he did like deals like Rumpelstiltskin though? Like if you didn't have enough payment for what you needed, like what if he like steals your firstborn child or something?
Ooh, that's a fun aspect. That could give him like, so he seems like a goblin, but in reality he might actually be kind of like in disguise. That's more of what he does to keep people off his trail. But in reality, he's much more like that, like either like a vampire or like an Ifrit or an Oni, because Onis are shapeshifters or whatnot. An Oni would actually be really good because they're typically evil and super intelligent. And so he keeps up the facade of a goblin, but in reality, he's a much more powerful deal-making djinn type character.
I kind of see him as like the Tor network of the Dungeons and Dragons world. Like he's responsible for getting you connected to every sort of super awful illegal shit you could possibly do.
Yeah, for sure. But
And
it all comes with a price, though.
it all comes with a price.
Yeah, and it's because and you never really know how he gets the stuff. You just sort of give him a list, and he's just like, "All right, give me 3 days." And when he comes back, and he's just like, "What do you want?" He's like, "I don't accept money. What you got? What you got?"
Well, no,
And-
it's more like I don't accept payment right away. Let's just here's an IOU statement, and it's like they literally carry this around because it's like an instant teleportation to that person, and it's like a cursed item basically, and it's always on your person at all times. And
You can't throw it away; it'll just teleport back to you.
Yeah, and he could show up literally at any fucking moment in time to collect.
I'm all about that because you could put him as like he's like a lawful evil character though, so he always comes through his deals. Like everyone knows, like you don't deal with him, but if you do, like he'll honor his deal, but he'll also collect on his deal, which is a fun way to do it. That's very much like devils in the D&D world. Devils are notorious for being lawful evil.
Well,
and that's super cool.
It would be really interesting if he himself wasn't a devil, but more like sponsored by a devil, if that makes any sense.
He's the devil's little toady.
That would be a good way to do it. Yeah, like he's sort of the in-between. So maybe in this particular like D&D realm, devils don't have a lot of influence. There's not a lot of like cross paths, much like in a lot of games, devils are all over the fucking place. In this, like he's the intermediary between. And
kind of
so
like
yeah,
a
like maybe
ferryman or something.
Yeah, he has like a direct link to Mephistopheles or some shit.
Or even better, he's actually a bigger link though. Like he links to literally every evil god because he's so effective at what he does. So if you wanted to talk with like Lolth or something, you can do that. If you wanted to talk with Mephistopheles, you can do that through this guy. He's just the biggest microphone for all the evil big baddies.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you don't come through on his deal, like his thing, so the devils take care of him and make sure he's always okay. And what he does in return is he collects, like when you make a deal with him, your soul is up for grab or somebody else's soul. So if you don't come through with what you're supposed to do, you now belong to the devil. And so that's why the devils work with him, because he gives them free souls.
And one thing I love about this idea is I like the idea that he's essentially non-interventionalist in a way. Like he's not going to like help or harm you on your quest, but every king, every wizard, even every like god on earth who's like good will not fuck with this guy. Like there's just fear in every king's face. Don't work with that man. Don't like even Stevie Nicks is like, no, like no. Or like even murder choir Kanye West is like,
yeah, no, I think that's a great character to have in there for sure.
I feel like Robin Williams during his soul stealing days probably knew him and crossed paths with this guy.
Better yet, he replaced Robin Williams. Like Robin Williams was that person, and then this guy replaced him as a result.
I like that.
Yeah. Like Wallace Shawn's like, I'll do it.
My time has come.
I can see that.
For sure. It's such a cool cool thing to have in a game too, because it's one of those, especially for someone like you, Sam, like you love like the deck of many things and you love like game breaking stuff. So this is one of those where like you get caught in a corner and it's like, well, how are we going to do this? We need some kind of game breaking, like reality shifting power. It's like, well, there's one place we know we can get it, but it's going to come with a price. And you end up like, he's your only option.
I do want to do one thing to make him less like insidious. I would love it to be like one of those, like kind of like an evil La Jinn thing where you wish for a thing, but it's done super ridiculously. So like, you're up against a dragon.
The genie deals.
Yeah, you're in a corner and you call this dude up real quick. He's like, hey, I need you to take care of this. And I just imagine like getting like a massive bag of holding and just putting the dragon in it. And he's like, here you go.
Yeah. Or if you're just like, oh, the evil king took over this kingdom. We have to kill the evil king. And he's like, dope. And he like nukes the whole city. The city's eviscerated. Gone. He's like, the king's dead. It's like, what? But the whole kingdom's gone.
Yeah. You can thank me later. And you will.
Yeah.
All the women and children.
Like basically to ask for something, you would need to lawyer the shit out of the ask, basically. I want you to kill the king. Don't kill anyone else in the process. Do not destroy anything else in the process. Like, you have to, like, list a
Wasn't there
very...
a genie episode, like a wish episode of the X-Files where Mulder had to make, like, the perfect wish to bring reality back to the way it was? I think there was an episode like that, which was a fun one, but it was exactly that. Like, he had to lawyer back reality into the way it was supposed to be.
Are you kidding? I would love that to be a quest, like the perfect wish, and it has to do with exactly something like this. That'd be so
also
cool.
Fox Mulder is a D&D character. That's another character sheet I would do. I'd put Fox Mulder in a world. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Anyway,
absolutely.
sorry. Then tangent.
So, I mean, in terms of his relationship to other NPCs, other than Robin Williams, which I imagine they would be mortal enemies, but they're mortal enemies that cannot touch each other. Who else would this person essentially work with?
Probably Mickey Rourke. I mean, or maybe I don't know if Mickey Rourke would like fuck with him. He'd probably.
I don't think Mickey Rourke would. He's too like Mickey Rourke does stuff himself. Like, he fixes his own fucking problems.
Maybe actual Elon Musk is trying to find a way.
That's what I was saying. Actually, Elon Musk would totally do that.
You're like, I'm trying to get the fuck back home. Someone get me home.
Or, I mean, one thing, going with our goofy fucking Rick Moranis Tinkerer, I bet if so,
what
like,
if
he
they were
wouldn't.
bridge buddies?
That's what I was about to say. They could just be friends, like the only friends they normally have, because they can't deal with normal people all the time. And our little goofy Tinkerer doesn't really get it, doesn't really understand why like people are afraid of him. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, let's hang out and have a beer, blah blah blah. Like, they kick it and they're friends.
Oh no, perfect.
I like him bridge buddies. That's fun.
No, Elon Musk finds out this guy exists. He goes over to him and says, I need you to send me home. So what he does is he literally takes his home from the other world and places it in the world.
That's funny.
And he's like, okay, now you owe me. He's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Fuck, that's not what I wanted. Come on.
And so now Elon Musk owes a debt to Shawn Wallace, or Wallace Shawn, and this is... Oh. And I would love the idea where, like, because he's not of the world and Shawn Wallace knows this, he's just fucking with him every chance he gets. Like, you're gonna owe me someday. And he's like, stop. I'm not gonna tell you when, but it's gonna be like, he's just fucking with him all day.
He just like shows up in mirrors every once in a while. Like, Elon's just brushing his teeth and he's like, hi. Pops up in the mirrors, like, remember that time?
He's like going to the bathroom, tiny mirror, like next to the toilet. Hi.
And it's just like slowly driving him mad. Like, what do you want? What do you want me to do?
That's super fun. Yeah, it would be. It is a little weird because it's hard to make him like he's only like a last resort NPC character. But I feel like he would be more like in-game stuff. Like, he might show up every once in a while and like drop some like ominous like knowledge or something, or maybe like offer ominous deals. But he would definitely be an in-game NPC for like a final quest or some shit.
Well, I could see him. He would be the guy who pops up when like you're out of like leads, or like there's some integral plot that like maybe basically he becomes a MacGuffin is what it is. Like, he's a MacGuffin character.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, we got him.
We got him.
We got that bastard. Yeah.
Neat. Nailed it.
Anyway, we're gonna move on because I think we covered him in full. Actually, I think it's the first. Yeah. That's the first character.
That was a quick one.
That's the first character I didn't have to cut off because we were just going so far in.
Well, he's a bit simpler than what we normally do, but it's just like quick, concise, like a good character, good NPC to have. But there's not too much to talk about him. He's a very simple one compared to what we normally do.
Sure. Well, I would definitely eventually love to maybe create a little more back into him, but I think that's definitely like solid flat. Like like Jalaxel. Like, yeah, he's a pretty simple character.
Jarlaxle is not. What the fuck? Jarlaxle is incredibly complicated. He's like the pirate lord of all the drow. He knows everything. He's the master of secrets.
I know this, but like in terms of how he's understood, like
Yes, that is true. He's just a master of secrets. He's always around. He knows everything.
Yeah,
that's about it.
He's unpredictable, but that is predictable, is what I'm saying.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Okay. So next up, we're doing critical fail, because we're
Another
sticking
D&D thing.
doing another D&D thing. This is the D&D episode 2020.
D&D episode.
Oh no, not 2020. No more 2020. I don't want to talk
2021.
about. Yeah.
Nom flashbacks.
I've got
like anytime someone says 2020, everyone's like, oh. You get chills when you hear it.
Oh my goodness. I have so many critical fails in real life, and I don't know which ones I want to talk about. But
do we want to do a real life edition? I
Yeah,
had fun last
let's
time we
do
did
it.
that.
I love the
Yeah.
real life editions. These are great.
Okay, I'm down because I've got a good double crit fail.
I can start. Mine's probably a little bit lighter. So I'm going to tell you about the time that I terrified Norman Reedus at the Beverly Hills Four Seasons.
What did you do? How could you do?
Okay, so this is when I literally rolled probably like a 1 for perception. So I was at the Beverly Hills Four Seasons because one of the rich kids from our alma mater was shooting a scene in one of the hotel rooms. I was there with my friends, and we were both like huge Walking Dead fans. This was like pre-Glenn's death and everything, and I forgot that weekend that was being filmed, that the mid-season premiere was happening. So like I did not know that the Beverly Hills Four Seasons is just where everyone was going to be from The Walking Dead. So I was dressed up in like a fancy outfit to be an extra in this thing to help my friend with so much money out. My friend from a different school who didn't know any of the friends, I was just like with him, and we're looking at this map that's like next to where the bathrooms were, and as we're walking in like towards the front desk asking where like the set was, my friend's like, I think that was Norman Reedus. I just see the back of his head. It just looks like a long-haired dude in like a button down. I'm like, it's just probably some other like rich white dude at the Beverly Hills Four Hilton. So I'm like, I don't know, man, I didn't see his face. And so we're looking at this map, and like the bathrooms are literally about like maybe like 6 feet away from me. And so my friend, being the amazing friend that he is, punches me in the arm. I'm like, ow, dude, what the fuck? I look up, and then literally like 3 feet away from me is Norman Reedus and this big ass bodyguard. And because I rolled a 1 in perception, I was surprised. And in my surprise, I was not cool. I was just like, oh my God. And it's just because I was shocked, and I just didn't realize that was gonna be fucking Norman Reedus right over there. So he's like scared that I'm gonna be like
Fangirling.
weird. And then like it takes me, I look at his face, the bodyguard's like ready to go. Is this bitch gonna like tackle Norman Reedus? And I legit turn my back to all of them, stare at my feet. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to think I'm weird, to my feet out loud like an asshole. So
just like an ostrich just buried your head.
Intelligence, 1 perception, just 1 everything. And I'm just like, they all start laughing, and my friend's like, hey Daryl, he's like, sup man, and he like walks away, and I'm like mortified. I was mortified.
That's a nightmare for sure.
Yeah, so Norman Reedus, you'll probably never listen to this. I'm sorry.
Just put it in the universe. It's all right. It's all about intention.
Yeah, so that's it. That's my
That's a
super
good one.
fail. That was a fail.
I'm down. You want to go first? Do you want to go next?
I don't know which one to do because they're both equally terrible things. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. This one is a story about Constitution, and I'm at a church dance for the Mormons because that's what they do, and my parents always want me outside the house. So again, I dance alone because I'm the weird kid, the weird and not rich kid, because Mormons be like that sometimes. And one of the things that the chaperones try to encourage is people to meet each other. And so they kind of pushed me and this other girl that I knew from the church, and she's like, like in a different league than I am, like Megan Fox level attractive, and me being the super shy, nerdy RuneScape kid that I am, she's completely unapproachable to me, and I was like, okay, and I'm dancing, and she doesn't look like she's having a time. We're literally not saying a word to each other. We both kind of realize, okay, we're kind of pushed into this. We're just going to do this. And I must have been really nervous because I let one just fucking rip Like,
That's not what I expected. That's so funny.
so bad. Like, I think to myself, okay, maybe that wasn't bad, but then I let another one rip. It was so loud. You can hear it over the music. And it's, to this day, I laugh so hard at this. And, like, I just, I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, I shit my pants. What happens?
Oh no, these pants are shitty. Oh no, the pants.
Do you want to dance with me?
It
That's
gets
so
worse.
fucking funny.
No, it gets worse.
Oh god, it gets worse.
So I'm hoping and praying, please don't let this be too terrible. And her face is already pretty poker face, but you just see this slow, this slow frown of just absolute disapproval, and it was awful. And it was like a really long, slow song, so we just had to sit there and take it because we were being watched by the chaperones to make sure everything was going okay. So for 2-3 minutes, we're just sitting. We're just sitting and
Just sitting in your fart cloud, man. That's awful. That's my nightmare. Public shame is like my biggest fear.
Oh god. -2.
It was so bad. I can't even tell this story without dying laughing because it's so fucking funny. And yeah, that was such a critical fail for me. And like at that point in time, I never could see her directly in the eye ever. I mean, I couldn't do it anyway, but now I had a reason not to look at her in the eyes.
That's horrible.
Oh,
I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
Bad. And okay, that story's done. Oh my god, so embarrassing.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh.
Okay, I'll run with this. So I was gonna go with more stories about me just accidentally breaking things or destroying myself, much like the skiing incident. But going with the celebrity issues, I've beefed it super hard here in Hollywood one time, which ended up what is it? JC Chazé, who was in what, Nsync or Backstreet Boys? Which one was he?
Nsync.
He was in Nsync. He inadvertently ruined my last relationship.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Go on.
So I used to work for a company, and I had a boss named PJ. PJ was a tall, handsome-ish guy, kind of dark hair, kind of long. And this is a fact that will matter. Also a fact that matters, I didn't fucking know who JC Chazé was. I had no fucking clue who this human is. Didn't know what he looked like. Don't know who JC Chazé is. So one day, after working with a bunch of people for a while, I worked with a production company, and there's a director named Jake, cool guy. I'm out with my girlfriend at the time at a bar in Hollywood called the Velvet Margarita. And suddenly, while I'm there, me and Michelle are hanging out at the bar. This director I know walks through, and he has like a whole like cadre with him, and they all come in. People are talking, and I sort of look at Michelle's looking super weird, like she seems uncomfortable. And they come over, and I say hi to all these people. I haven't seen them in a while. And then there's this guy who I'm just like, oh, there's my boss PJ. And I go up and I talk to him and just sort of like clap him on the back, and he's like, what's up, man? It's been a little bit. And this guy looks at me like I'm fucking insane. 100% thinks I'm crazy, and I felt super awkward, and I was like, well, man, don't be a dick, like I haven't seen you in a while, bud, like what's going on? And Jake, the director, physically grabs me, pulls me aside, and is like, get the fuck out of here, what are you doing? And I walk over to Michelle, and Michelle's like, Zach, you know him? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, that's fucking JC Chazé. And I was like, no, who's that? And she's like, and she loved him. And I was like, I don't know this person. As I look over, and he's still staring at me, doesn't like me. Like, I made a bad first impression. And it was fucking JC Chazé. And Michelle, she's like, all right, well, because she had met Jake as well. She goes, Zach, like, should I go talk to him? And I was like, yeah, fucking, he's with our friends. Why not go try to say hi? So she goes to talk to this man, and he just shames her, is like super mean and kind of weird about it, because I had put him off so bad that he was mean to Michelle. And then all my friends just kind of left. And they took him with them, and everyone was just like, Zach, you ruined fucking JC's night. I was like, I don't know what you're I don't know who these people are. Blah. Me and Michelle went home later, and she was so mad at me. It ended up being one of the biggest fights we've ever had. And then we broke up 2 months later. And JC Chasez ruined my relationship because I didn't know fucking anything about celebrities, don't know how to act apparently.
And he looked exactly like your boss.
Apparently. And what's funny is I don't even know if he did look exactly like my boss. I just beefed it. Like, I just made an assumption, ran with it, and walked over and was like, what's up, man? Been a little bit. And, oh, God, it was the worst. I felt like such a fucking asshole. And because then, also those people, the director, I don't talk to him anymore. I think I've ruined, 4 relationships by beefing it with JC Chasez.
Not a good charisma roll.
No, horrible charisma roll. God, zero charisma, zero perception, and also not reading the room because I didn't fucking even the people that were there. As soon as I walked up, there was that sense of everyone sort of staring at you, being like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I thought they were being weird. I was I used to work for this guy. What are you talking about, you idiots? Oh my God, that was the worst. It was super embarrassing.
I'm loving critical fail as a segment now that we're talking about our own critical fails.
Yeah, because I've got D&D ones too, but the life critical fails are super fucking fun.
Yes. Although I think what we'll do is we'll also do one called critical success where things just go way better than we thought it was going to be.
I mean, I'm down.
Yes. Anyway, we're going to move on from this because I think that segment got talked out too. We're going to jump into our final segment of the day, and that would be The Hills We Die On. Who wants to start us off?
I can leave with I don't think I've let him yet in this. Okay, yeah, I'll go. This is a hill I die on. I think rather than normal public education, I think children should be put through like a gauntlet of life trials. And several, as you grow up, I think before you're 18, you should have to work a service job. And you should have to have a job. I would think it should be militantly instituted that every person in America should have to have a sort of service position to therefore understand how the world works and how to talk to people and how to deal with people. And I think it, much like in several countries where you have to do military service, I think you should have to do service. And every single person should have to do it no matter what.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. Because sometimes even the nicest people, they're nice to you, but they've never had a food service or other type of job working in the public. Yeah. And then this person that you think is so fucking sweet just starts treating your waiter like garbage. You're like, excuse me, the fuck? Why are you being like this? They're having a rough day today too, bro. You just need a sandwich.
Right? Yeah. People and getting mad at the wrong person. I mean, hey, waiter, where's my food? It's late. The waiter didn't fucking do it, Kathy. Get out of here, you bitch. I hate that shit. I hate it, and I think everyone should have to have a service job of some sort before they're 18, no matter what. Yeah. Or else you can't get a license, or you can't do something, or you just get beaten up all the time. I don't know.
The answer is violence with you always.
I choose violence always. Yes.
It's just no. The question is violence. The answer is yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Violence? Yes. No, I totally agree though, because I've had a job since I was 15, so I've worked a bunch. I worked at fucking Disneyland, so I literally am so chill. I am so fucking chill. I don't care if I'm hangry. I will not scream at a public service worker ever. That's not even if I'm upset, I'll just be like, oh, I'm sorry. Are you when you level with that?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, where's the food? And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And you're like, yes, you're a real person. Just talk to people like they're real people, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the I used to work at Yardhouse, and working there was the devil. I wore down my shoes to cardboard, literally. And I remember one time I had this one couple. I'll never forget this couple because it was this guy who was just like screaming, "Why don't we have a table? Why don't we have a table?" And I'm like looking around, and it's like just a mass of people, in line. And I'm like, you have to wait like everyone else, sir. And the wife was like, "Oh, don't bother him. He's just a nobody." And I almost was like, the indignation was about to arise out of me, like, bitch, I am a veteran and I have 3 degrees. Like I wanted to, but
yeah, for sure. That's what I mean. People always have the assumption, like, because if you haven't worked in the service, they're like, oh, you work in the service industry because you're stupid or poor or like whatever, blah, blah. It's like, what are you talking about? Almost every like bar, especially like say in Hollywood, everyone who works in the bar, we all usually have degrees. We're all educated. We know what we're talking about. We're all artists. We're all doing a million things. Like, no, I work in a bar because I want to live a party and because I have to do shit in the day because I have 7 other jobs. Go fuck yourself. Don't look down on me, you asshole.
Well, it's always boomers, though. Like, boomers uniquely do this because they still think people hold one job and the wife stays home. And like, because that's the only circles they know. And it's a frustrating experience.
For sure.
I almost didn't get hired for my recent minimum wage bullshit job because I had too many jobs on my resume, which is like 4 jobs. I'm like, the average American has about 6 jobs before the age of 25, so fuck off.
Oh my God, I have worked so many different jobs. There was a point in my life where I was a high school teacher. Did you all know that?
Yeah, I think we talked about it really early on.
Yeah, like I've done so many different things, and yeah, anytime when I was bartending and people are like, what have you fucking done? I'm like, I've probably done more than you, motherfucker, you trust fund asshole.
Oh yeah, no, like especially at LMU, we had that problem.
I hate those people.
Like, there's nothing worse than having to explain. By the way, I'm pretty sure I've attributed to murdering people. If you want to talk about it, it's like
yeah.
And then they're like, oh, like there's people that just got hired right out of college that had 0 work experience just because of their like parents were rich and shit. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like this girl I'm no longer friends with, like $50K a month allowance, right? Goes back to the Philippines. She got a producer like status on at a television station because her uncle owns it. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's so annoying.
Anyway, other hills to die on. What else?
I guess hills to die on. Since we're just here, wait, what was yours, Zach?
That every person should have to work a service job before they're 18. Job?
Yeah. Okay. So mine's different. It's just like I think I think there should be, I guess, more classes on just communication in general, because like even in like romantic relationship, familial relationship, and like friendships, I feel like a lot of us don't say what we mean to say because we're scared of the outcome. And I feel like we haven't been properly taught how to actually communicate. Yeah, in like elementary school, we fucking like, oh, don't be mean to Tommy, blah blah blah. They don't really give us like actual consequences. And like it might be getting better. I don't know what the fuck elementary school education is right now, but we don't actually actively teach like honest to God communication, connecting with other people. And I feel like a lot of us, we have gone to therapy and learned all this other shit and then the research ourselves. But I feel like there needs to be a type of a standard for communication, because like it's so fucking hard just to connect with another person. So why do we need to make it even harder? Like we should have mandatory classes on how to like
I absolutely agree.
Yourself.
There's so many things that they don't. I mean, that just goes into like Sam talks about public education all the time. Is that they don't teach things that actually matter. Like they don't teach you like how to survive in the world, how to deal with people. Like I think people should have to be taught a little psychology.
Teach me how to plant seeds.
Teach me like life lessons and just how to deal with people. I mean, like a little bit of psychology would go a long way. Like when you're young, like you said, if you teach people like what empathy is and like why, or just like general ideas, it doesn't have to be intense. Just like very basic psychology, make people also not ashamed of themselves. Like if you have a little wildling and you teach people like what ADD is when they're children, rather than just yell at them and give them Adderall, like people might not be so mean and so like judgmental for like the little spazzy kid, shit like that.
And it wasn't until I got diagnosed with ADHD that I realized that like how my brain works, so I can like counteract certain things, because a lot of my life, like my focus issues and stuff, I thought it was a character flaw, and I'd be comparing myself to other people and taking it out on myself and be like, why can't I just do this normal? Why is every me trying to focus on something that I like without like a deadline such a fucking struggle for me? Why are the things that I love becoming like horrible? And until I got that diagnosis, I just thought there was something inherently fucking wrong with me.
Yeah.
And even in like relationships and whatnot, I was so scared. Like I have abandonment issues, like a bunch of shit. And recently, like I told somebody how I felt, like honest to God, because I was driving myself insane. One, with a hyper focus about like, oh God, like what are they thinking? What are they thinking? What are they thinking? Oh my God, thinking about all possible negative and positives. And I'm like, I'm driving myself insane because I'm holding this back. I'm being selfish, not just asking for clarification and whatnot. So like, fuck it, I'm gonna be an adult and I'm just gonna be like, hey, I feel like this. Did you mean this? I'm not trying to be blunt or like aggro about this, but I'm going crazy. Just let me know what the fuck you think. And they're just like, oh yeah, I bet. Like, this is what it is. Problem solved. Like,
it's honestly like that's been my biggest thing working COVID. You know, I don't get to talk with people that way. And like I'm 99% sure that I'm like undiagnosed ADHD myself. And you know, working from home is great, but I don't get any feedback. And 9 times out of 10, I'm just like, I need to know what you're thinking, or I start freaking the fuck out. It's like there's more than one day a week where I'm just like, I'm getting fired tomorrow because I have no idea what's going on. I'm getting fired because no one's saying. Like I get that. Like, and it just,
for sure.
it's fucking awful. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm all the way on your hill. I think if they just taught kids when they're young a little bit about people, just teach people about each other, do a little bit of life lessons, it would go so far. It would help our world so much because we're a very isolated society. Like in America, we're just specifically told to be like stoic and you shouldn't communicate. Like, just fix it, don't cry, be better. Like, and that's such an unhealthy thing. And I think we are, like, we're on the precipice of change. Like, there's, especially modern days, like, they're trying to be better. But we are dealing with, like, a fucking hegemony of evil that has been, like, the norm for the last 400 years.
We're trying to stamp out the 50s, essentially. The 40s and the 50s, where all this racism shit is still a thing, and these people are still living, and worse, they're still in power. And so I think it's going to be, I think our generation is going to be what kills that, which is great.
For sure.
I'm gonna do a lightning round on mine because we are running out of time. And because mine's not nearly as in depth and interesting as your guys' is. I hate butter knives.
You hate butter knives?
I hate butter knives, and the reason I hate butter knives is because
that's so silly.
I hate butter knives. The reason
what do they do to you?
They're useless. They're useless items. They don't do like it's the Rick and Morty thing. What's your purpose? You pass butter. What's your purpose? You cut butter. Like every other knife in the world is more useful and more interesting than the butter knife. I could use the steak knife as a butter knife. I could use a sword as a butter knife. The only thing I can't do with a butter knife is literally everything else that any other knife can do. It is the most useless knife in creation. It doesn't need to be on my plate. I don't know why we have these as part of our American staple. I think we should ban them. They don't need to exist.
I will say, go ahead, sorry.
As a girl who grew up with a mom who needed to have a silverware set but didn't trust me with actual knives, I had to cut all of my overcooked meats with a butter knife. So I also just hate them.
You get it. I'm the same way.
I'm like, it's just like you're sawing through it and it's just like, hold on, it'll be like my whole little chicken breast, very dry. I'm gonna be here for a while.
And it's like, if you have an intruder, you're in the kitchen. What do you reach for the thing, you look up, oh, you fucking got a butter knife? Great, you're dead. No, like it doesn't.
I will say, I think one of the worst things in the world is in plastic silverware packets. The plastic butter knife is the most frustrating thing because it always breaks. Oh my God. Like the idea of using a plastic knife to cut anything is nonsense. It makes me so fucking mad. And I do get that. I don't have as much vitriol for it, but I do think it's silly that everyone has in their silverware drawer like a stack of butter knives that are just never used.
Oh no, the thing is, I
never.
No, the thing is, I do use them.
Why do you use them if you hate them?
I use them because they're the most immediate option available a lot of the time because it's like right there in the drawer. It's like, boom, got one because there's like 70 million of them. But like in terms of utility, they're completely and utterly useless. They spread things That's what they do. They do maybe 1d2 damage if you try hard enough, but, but they're metal sticks. They're just flattened chopsticks is what they are. There's no use for them, and I would love just to have they just steak knife everything. They're just more. They're more utility.
We're past butter knives. We're over it, guys. We're past them.
Yes,
Done.
this is
Yeah.
2021. Damn it, we have better technology available to spread your fucking butter and do a bunch of other things with it. Anyway,
I will say I recently learned using a spoon to spread butter or peanut butter is so much easier than using a knife. Just take a spoon, get on the back side of it, the convex side, and it makes spreading butter so much easier. Oh my goodness. It was like the greatest life hack ever. Sorry, that was it.
Well, and that's all I got.
I'm a little bit chaotic with my butter spreading. I like hack off a piece of it, stick it in a ramekin and melt it, and then brush it on my bread like a crazy woman.
I just eat bread and then eat butter.
That's artisanal. That makes more sense. Like my grandma does that, where you like melt the butter, you dip the little paintbrush foodie thing in, you paint it up. Yeah, that
sounds
makes sense.
super bougie.
It's bougie, but it's
more an even coating.
It's more effective and more interesting and more utility than a butter knife.
Trying to spread cold ass bread on a piece of toast, and you fucking ruined it.
Well, that's why you can keep your butter out. Butter doesn't have to.
Yeah, no, who does? Yeah,
lots of people. No butter. That's why you have butter trays. Like it's room temperature butter spreads super easily. What are you talking about? It's normal. It's a normal thing.
I would rather use. I can't believe it's not butter than butter that's sitting out. I don't trust dairy sitting out. I just don't. I don't
trust American dairy sitting out. Apparently British and like Irish stuff is different. Like you can drink that shit off the counter.
Oh, that's because they use I think whole milk a lot of the times for their butter. Anyway, I don't mean to cut this off, but we do have to rock it out and we got to get out of here. Shannon, where can we find you?
You can find me at Shady Bees on Twitch and YouTube. Hopefully I've started by now. And then Shannon Brunetti on Instagram. That's about it. I'm here. Yeah.
Gay Cobain, where can we find you?
You can find me few places. I'm really only on Instagram at zclap1. I'm releasing a bunch of content soon, which will all be in the description below whenever it's out. And that is about it. Call me for a good time.
8675309. Okay.
God damn it. You can find me here at chucklesluts. linktr.ee/chucklesluts. You can find us on all the platforms in the history of ever. Whether or not we have content on there, that's another story. You can find us mainly on the on Instagram. You can find us here on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, Twitch soon.
Oh yeah, next week is Twitch. This is end of February. The next week is Twitch.
March with the Twitch.
Yep.
You're gonna hear me reciting Tolstoy in shitty Russian accent.
Yeah, we'll be back on our bullshit before you know it. And as always, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please love and share this to your friends if you like hearing us, because we need to build our audience. Because without our audience like you, this is not worth doing.
How would I validate myself if others didn't tell me I was great?
Tell me I'm pretty.
Tell me I'm pretty.
I am awesome. Please tell me I'm awesome. Anyway,
validate me.
Ladies and gentlemen, validate me, Senpai. We will see you next week.
There's a t-shirt.
Hey, validate me, Senpai.